A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Sports Tonight. It's a very beautiful Tuesday night and time for us to take you on a journey around the fast-paced, interesting, intriguing sometimes world of sports. This is Sports Tonight, the Tuesday night edition. My name is Tony Ibitoye. I'd like to start the show by introducing to you those starting off this edition of the program with me, because tonight is very, very loaded. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, you probably have an idea of the super heavyweight guests that will be appearing on the show tonight. One of them will be starting off the show with me. We've reserved the second for the second part of the show. Without wasting any more time, let me just quickly start by introducing to you my guests on Sports Tonight this Tuesday. From my immediate right, former Commissioner for Sports in Ogun State, seasoned administrator, President Nigeria Wheelchair Basketball Federation, Bukola Olopade, is my guest on Sports Tonight. And of course, the young man to my far right is also in very good mood. It was a good weekend for him because Arsenal are showing plenty of quality and they're looking very good, and it makes Cosmos very, very happy. Well, Cosmos is also on the show tonight, but let me welcome you to Sports Tonight.
Good evening, Tony. Good evening, viewers.
And of course, Cosmos, good to have you as well.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Your introduction kind of made me blush, but it's all good.
Because you're an Arsenal fan.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's okay. All right, but let me just tell you what we'll be doing on the show. This first part of the show, we'll take a look at the state of Nigerian football, the Nigerian Football Federation, the politics, the good, the bad, the embarrassing, and all of that. We'll take a look at that. Of course, we'll talk athletics as well, because African Championship is currently going on in Morocco, and it's looking good for Team Nigeria. We'll talk about the girls as well, the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Last round of games will begin tonight, so we'll talk about it. Nigeria will be playing Thursday morning, last group game against England. And then the second part of the show, I have another guest who will come in, who will focus on club football. What is the future of club football? And then, of course, we will give you a preview of games to be played tomorrow in the Globacom Premier League and an outstanding game in the National League as well. That will be for the second part of the show. But let's start off the show this way. Let's go down memory lane. Let's talk about 25 years ago. In case you were not around 25 years ago, something dramatic happened, something that has probably changed the history of Nigerian football, and the story of how players should be committed to the national team. It happened 25 years ago inside the National Stadium in Lagos. It was a World Cup qualifying game, Nigeria against Angola. And this guy was in jersey number 6, the man you've seen on the screen, his picture, Samuel Okwaraji, slumped and died just about 6 minutes at the end of the game. And he slumped on that pitch and passed on. 25 years now, but we will always remember the commitment, the dedication, the patriotism of somebody like Samuel Okwaraji. 25 years has gone just like a flash, but it's what he did for football, and the story of Okwaraji will remain evergreen, even for those who are yet to be born. We will always talk about Samuel Okwaraji.
It was awesome. Unfortunately, I was in the heart of the stadium. That's on
August 12, 1989.
That very sad day, we trooped in from school. It was my second year in university. We all moved in from Agoibu down to National Stadium to watch that match, and it was a very sad day. Of course, we did not realize he was dead at the time. It fell until we got home for the 9 o'clock news, and everybody were like, "What?" Because his skills were from out of this world. It was after Sam Okwaraji that we eventually got an Okocha.
Somebody in the mode of an Okocha.
Yes, by 1990, 93, 92, we got Okocha again. But for those who did not see Sam play football, when you think of an Okocha,
just remember an Okwaraji.
Yes, same style of play, very skillful, very dedicated to the cause, because I remember
will pay his way down to play for Nigeria.
And used to always frown against the team fighting against the administrators to collect money before matches.
That's the story.
He was synonymous with that.
Yeah, Samuel Okwaraji, 25 years ago. Well, Cosmos. I should be asking you if you
How
were
old
around.
was I, Shay?
If you were around that time, or you were able to watch the game at that time.
I was.
Or you understand even the game that was,
I remember I was
happening.
about 3 years at that time, 4 years. Yeah, in Kanu. Yeah, I used to have this football crazy uncle that watches Nigerian football. Yeah, and right now he has kind of calmed down, but he watches football at that time, buying newspapers and all that. And after that time, he watched the match. Yeah, I noticed that he was kind of sad. I did not know anything that was happening there. Hey, I was just a toddler by that time. But years later, when we discussed it and he told me about that day, reminded me of that day, I kind of had some little recollection about it. Then later on, as the job took me, started reading about him, reading about the fact that, like you said, paid his way for national team's duty, always fighting his colleagues that they should not confront the administrators and all that. And I'm kind of thinking about it. I'm thinking, okay, let's compare that time to this time. So much has changed. And I would understand why the new generation players are doing the way they're doing, because you have to look at it critically. What 25 years ago, what has happened? What has the government or even the Football Federation done? So basically,
apart from losing Okwaraji on that day, it was a black day for Nigerian football, because we lost some fans as well. There was stampede at the stadium. Yeah. We lost a few fans, and it was a black day. And I think there was a ban on us for a few years after that incident. But it was a day we will never forget. August 12, 1989. All right, let's go on to something that is a lot better, that is happening right now, and it's more cheering news for us. Let's talk athletics now, and let's talk about the 2014 African Athletics Championship that is currently going on in Morocco. Yesterday, we talked about Blessing winning 100 meters for Nigeria in the 100 meters for the women, but the good news is that today, Nigeria has added 2 more gold medals. One from the 400 meters, Folashade Abugon winning gold for Nigeria. And remember the guys we spoke about, the Americans. Yeah. They didn't win gold, but a lot of silver medals and bronze medals for Nigeria. And the Nigerian guys that you were saying, no, let's not bring these Americans, didn't win anything. So at the end of the day, AFN will look at those white guys, those American Nigerians, and say, look, they got us medals.
Tony, I saw the program where you raised it. Look, listen, we live in a global world.
Exactly.
There is really nothing wrong in identifying talents who, with blood connections to Nigeria, irrespective of how difficult it is or it may be for people to establish the blood relationship. As long as they are saying their great-grandfathers are from Nigeria, I think we should be giving credit to the AFN, but more importantly, to the NSC, because of the very robust, proactive attitude of the DG, someone like Binga Legbeleye, the NSC are beginning to look for different ways of getting talents for us.
In Nigeria.
Absolutely. And credit must be given to Binga Legbeleye and to Chief Solomon Ogba for what they've done with athletics. We do it with football. John Chidioze had not been to Nigeria. Tuji Banjo had not been to Nigeria. I don't know if you know those names.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right. They had not been to Nigeria before they came to play for Nigeria. They just yanked them from the league, the big league then, what they call the Premier League now. They were yanked from London. John Chidioze from Tottenham Hotspur, and I can't remember the team Tuji Banjo came from. Never been to Nigeria. Came and they played very well for the Green Eagles. So it is not something new. I don't like it when we start to trash the efforts of administrators. And it is not easy to be a sports administrator. And if you put into cognizance the fact that prior to this, our boys were struggling.
Yeah.
And now we have guys who are getting to finals. Something that had not happened at the Olympics.
I wasn't saying it was wrong.
We'll come to you later on. But let's do this. Let's bring you into all that we're doing. Let's let you be a part of what we're doing via feedback. We want you to speak to us the way we always do it on Sports Tonight. We'd like to hear your own side. Bukola Olopade has given us his own perspective to it, and he's talked about it that in football we do it. So why can't we do it in athletics?
Basketball.
Basketball, we do it. We brought Americans and we qualify for the Olympics for the first time. So, give us your own thoughts, your opinion to these issues as we raise them on the program, and take advantage of the mechanisms you are seeing on your screen. On Facebook, channels iPhone Sports, and of course on Twitter at channels_sports at Toyin. Please get busy with us. Tell us what you think about all of this. You can also react as well to the Okwaraji story. 25 years ago, he passed on that pitch of the National Stadium in Lagos. What should we do for him, and what lessons can we learn from the life of Okwaraji 25 years after? So please talk to us and let's know what you feel. We'll read your comments as we go along on the program tonight. Well, Cosmos, okay, let's close that issue. Let's close that chapter.
All right, let's give credit to our administrators.
I'm not denying that, of course.
Cosmos, let's close that chapter.
All right.
We'll leave those of you who are watching to talk to us. We'll read your comments and let's know what you feel. I already know your line of argument, so there's no need for you to re-emphasize your line of argument. It's just something different that we're getting from Bukola Olokpade.
Okay.
But let's talk football now very quickly. Today, the Nigerian Football Federation Executive Committee met in Abuja. We will look at the controversial part of the meeting later on. But let's look at the part that concerns the football on the pitch. Let's talk about Coach Stephen Keshi. That, for me, is one of the high points, the positive that we can pick out from that meeting. They said they finalized they finalized discussions with Keshi, and Keshi will be in town in a few days to start work as Super Eagles coach. So that is sorted, and now we can begin to look forward to Nigeria-Rwanda, September 7.
I am particularly very, very glad about that news, because 3 days ago I spoke with the big boss, Stephen Keshi. I called him up in America out of my concern for what was going on, and I saw the pain with which you guys kept on emphasizing the fact that we were not getting ready for future challenges.
Something else and not the football.
And after watching your program it was a Friday, I called him and he told me angrily that people should stop saying that he has agreed to come back. And yes, out of patriotism, he replied a letter and said, but that no contract had been signed. So, and I gave him my word. I said I was going to talk to a few of the power that be at the FA and probably at the NSC, and to see how we can quickly get this done. Because look, in the final analysis, we're all stakeholders. And if we have the influence, why not assert the influence in order to move our football forward? Okay. So I'm very happy that the NFF have done the needful, and I hope the documents will get to Big Boss quickly